Hi everyone, this is Sunny and I have a quick pick a card reading for you guys. It's going to be a sports related pick a card. It's going to be quick, so I have 4 piles for you guys to choose from left to right. I have pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So stop the video if you feel like you need more time to contemplate on the cards and your energies, and I'll see you at your pile of selection. Well, your pile of choices in the description. Well, in the timestamp in the description. Sorry, it got messed up. So I will start with the first one, pile number 1. You guys have the Two of Pentacles upright. So what sport would you benefit from? Pile number 1, I think gymnastics would be a good sport to kind of, get into, or anything that involves maybe like, what are they? There's specific types of yoga sports. I still consider it a sport because it's still something you do active, but that aerobics, is it aerobics? And there's one more. They basically is it like the Peloton things? I'm trying to think of all this, like they stand in one place but they're like juggling and going fast and then going slow. Like they have to do all these maneuvers, right? And it looks simple and easy, but technically it's not. It requires a lot of balancing of yourself. So that's something interesting that I kind of see in this card with the Two of Pentacles. So you would improve yourself in that aspect of, like, you would benefit and learn a lot about your body and your physical self. It is Pentacle, it is earthy, so it just feels like you would learn a lot and earn a lot of knowledge about how your body moves and how it interacts with these sports, because you learn how to balance yourself. It feels like it kind of gives you that sense of direction where it's like, hey, you can do this, but you just kind of have to learn about guiding yourself, allowing your physical body to guide yourself over how to ease itself into being more flexible. I think you kind of learn the flexibility of the sport, but at the same time learning to be flexible with speed, with your extending your body and then coming back and contracting it. So I just feel like even though it's more or less like in one motion, you will learn a lot in that aspect. Like think of those kinds of terms. And maybe that can also not be the only sports, by the way. There's so many sports out there that I don't know of that would have the same principle of, like, maybe just staying in like one specific location but still having this movement. So like bicycles, but not the bicycles that the treadmills, like those, are they called the treadmills also, that are like the bicycles that stay in one motion? I forgot, it's been a while, sorry, since I learned all these. I used to know more terms for these machines, but I don't remember anymore. So you get the gist. So I think that would help you, pile number 1. So pile number 2, you guys have the Magician upright. For some reason I also think of sorry, I'm trying to censor these. Role playing with you guys when it comes to, like, I know it's not what you want to hear, but I still think that's sometimes sports, because you're doing activities outside and kind of like using your imagination to kind of lead you to where you need to. So it feels like doing that make-believe, turning your imagination into the 3D, manifesting itself. It's like, hey, I got you with like my special fireball attack minus 300 points. This isn't me making fun of you if you're into this. It's interesting, but more so I'm trying to teach you, like, there is physical activity and strain into this because you're moving and interacting with yourself and maybe others. And if this isn't something that can be up your alley, another sport that you could benefit from is possibly gardening. I know it's not a sport, but it is physical labor that you're doing outside. It's like you're planting, you're growing, you're making those seeds develop into fruition. So it feels like time is something that you need to, patience and practice is something you need to work with, and perfecting the skill, something that's going to perfect that skill to let you grow into something that can be useful to you. So these are some examples. Another actual literal sport you can think of, in case this isn't something you didn't think of, like actually wanting, but maybe, what are they called? The I think of the Lizzie McGuire episode, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it because it's one of those clips you've seen around in social media, where she's is it the baton, playing with the batons? That can be it too. That's a sport, and everybody's like, wow, she's so great, and it's like, I was laughing at Lillian's expression, which is her best friend. I forgot her. Is it Miranda? I think it's Miranda. Her best friend Miranda was just looking at her like, okay, but Lizzie went all out. It was like slow cam and everything, and it's like she was tossing the baton, the little twirly things. I forgot what it's called, but it's an actual sport, and you could learn a lot from that too, by the way. So that's something you can consider. And again, take this with a grain of salt. It's pretty lighthearted reading. You have the Wheel of Fortune reversed for you, pile number 3. So pile number 3 with this one, I think, well, let me center these a little bit. A sport that you can be interested in is maybe anything that doesn't have to require you to try your luck. So maybe you're going to play the person who tries to play it more safe, because you always end up you get injured easily. So maybe you try to have safer options, like maybe doing mild routine exercises, like going to the gym, for example. That's a safer one. Or you just running, or you doing something that's soft, like even yoga, like I mentioned earlier in the reading. Yoga can be it. Or you can also just meditate. It just feels like something that you would not get injured. You would not play with your safety. You wouldn't push your luck, because for some reason I feel like you're someone that's accident prone. You just give me this vibe. So it feels like whatever keeps you physically not injured is going to be what works for you. So maybe even swimming and surfing, but it feels more like swimming, the softer one. Swimming in pool, maybe not too much in open water, because open water can sometimes be rough when it comes to high tide and stuff like that, or too many waves. Also another one is maybe like parasailing, for example. That's also kind of, well, again, every person's different when it comes to them not pushing their like extreme sports of love, like love for extreme sports. Like you're not gonna be the person who's like jumping out of a parachute and parasailing, right? So I'm just thinking of some possibilities, but you get the gist. Or maybe you like doing equestrian types of things, right? Although I think it looks great, but you kind of have to have the practice and maneuvers of knowing how to handle horses and when they have accidents, because you can also fall down. So maybe you can also even like bowling or ball sports, soccer, football, basketball, or maybe just by yourself, sports that just require you, maybe like volleyball, something that seems decent but not too risque where you can get too injured. But that's what I have for you, pile number 3. The last pile number 4, you guys have the 8 of Wands upright. So likely maybe you guys would benefit from sports like lacrosse, or sports when it comes to, I think they're called high jumps. It's like the jumps where they're running and then they start throwing it's like a long you want to say the wands like this, and they throw them and then they reach above like a certain pole and they mark their record, right? So maybe those sports, I don't know any, I'm sorry, but maybe even running long distance. It feels like speed, something that's fast, something that requires agility, but requires a lot of discipline and action. So that's why I keep thinking of the sports. Maybe even hockey. Hockey would also be good, because I think of wand as also like hockey sticks. So maybe you could also do that. Maybe even ice skating, but it feels more like there's sports that require like maybe like tennis too, like rackets. I think they call it rackets. I forgot. Or am I saying that word just because it's a made up word? But yeah, it's like you hit it, you hit the ball. It's like you use something to put something else, to throw it against a fence or something like that, or a certain point. So like objects like that. So that's how you would benefit problem number 4, more or less, because it requires you to show more cardinal energy, and there's a lot of fire within, and you kind of have to burn it off. So that's why these more intense sports would, like more intensely physical sports, or maybe even edgier sports as well, but if it was more like intensity, high cardio type of things, you would benefit from, to burn off that excess energy, to kind of cool off. Maybe you just have a lot of energy, and it kind of helps you channel that maybe inner anger into a more positive channel that you can use for your benefit, right? So that was quick, it's pretty easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and have a lovely day, everybody, and that's it. So bye bye.